Okay, so good morning. Happy to be here with Derek Roos to give you an update on Siemens Cloud Solutions and the progress that we've made since we talked last time in Boston. Last year I talked to you about how we're doubling down on our cloud-based experiences, and I think you will see throughout the conference the progress that we've made here. Quite a few sessions and obviously also updates that you will get from our born in the cloud products like Mendix and Mindsphere. So I wanted to start a little bit with a level set here as to why cloud matters. It matters because cloud brings to us new abilities to innovate, but also to deliver new product experiences. And so a good example of this is, of course, what we've seen with Polar this morning, where, yes, we're talking about multi-domain optimization, we're talking about multi-domain problems that we have to solve, but we're also talking about how to deliver new digital experiences that come with this as part of this. And so obviously, when we talk about cloud, it's all about not just the product experience as the actual product that you have, but also the digital experiences that we can deliver on top of this. That said, though, the traditional mandates in manufacturing are still present. And so whether it's reduced time to market, enhanced flexibility, these are still mandates that we have to solve. Whether you're a large automotive or aerospace enterprise or you're a wearable technology company, these still have to be solved. So how does our cloud strategy actually help these mandates? We actually use cloud as a way to unlock new opportunities for you to go solve these problems. And so whether it's innovate at speed by getting on-demand access to our SaaS, or whether it's actually building great digital experiences with Mendix, we believe we have you covered. We have you covered here at Siemens. So how do we do this? So Siemens Cloud Solutions, like Tony was talking about, we deliver the most scalable and flexible cloud solutions in the industry today. And it really starts by giving you access to the entire product portfolio that we have today through a cloud-based experience. And I will talk about that a little bit more here in a minute. It also includes how we actually allow you to connect. How to connect to devices, how to connect to systems, and how to actually get new insights from this so you can actually pursue new business models and actually gain new customers. Third, actually, it's all about build, integrate, and extend. So you heard Tony talk about how Mendix is about delivering our customers a personalized experience. And with Mendix being part of the Siemens family, we have a first-class rapid application development solution available as part of our product portfolio. Last, it's about the experience. So it's about providing a multi-channel experience through the applications that we offer, whether these are cloud-native applications or whether these are cloud-ready applications that we have available today. So if you look at our solution offering, it's pretty simple. We have three pillars here. So we talk about cloud-ready. Cloud-ready being the solutions that we offer. Basically, these are the existing products that we offer in a cloud-ready fashion. We have our app platform offering. We'll have Derek actually talk about that here in a minute, where we talk about an integrated cloud-native stack for delivering the application experiences that our customers are looking for. And third, simple apps. So whether these are cloud-native apps or whether these are cloud-ready apps, obviously the value comes from bringing productivity to those across our customers that are willing or are looking for using our solutions. So let me give you a quick few highlights around Cloud Ready. So Cloud Ready, like I said, is all about taking the breadth of the accelerated product portfolio and delivering this to our customers in a flexible way at their pace and the way that they actually want to take advantage of cloud as part of their innovation cycles. So this can be us delivering our products in a cloud certified way. So them using their own cloud infrastructure. This can be our infrastructure, meaning we deliver a managed experience where through our managed services offering, we take care of the infrastructure, but also we take care of delivering the cloud experience to the customer. It can be SaaS, so obviously taking advantage of our extended product portfolio and deliver this as a SaaS experience, but can also be augmenting our desktop products with additional features like team collaboration and data management, all hosted in the cloud. So a good example of cloud ready is what we've done over the last couple of years with Teamcenter. So when it comes to the flexibility, we actually deliver the flexibility that I talked about in multiple ways. We have Teamcenter certified for Azure as well as for AWS. We deliver it to our customers in a single tenant bespoke experience, what we call managed service. And we deliver it as SaaS, which is all about delivering a multi-tenant workflow optimized set of solutions. Good example of a customer taking advantage of this is America Makes. So America Makes is actually taking advantage of our cloud certified Teamcenter in collaboration with AWS. And they actually use Teamcenter in this case as a digital storefront for the community of members that they have about, or that are all about pushing forward innovation around additive manufacturing. So a good example of a customer taking advantage of what we do, cloud certifying our products, and then taking advantage, working with our technology partners to deliver the experience that they want to have for their members. The other example I wanted to highlight is what we do with cloud when it comes to augmenting our desktop products with a cloud-based experience. So a few months ago, we actually launched NX Cloud Connected. This is a good example where we actually take NX and we augment NX in multiple ways with cloud services. First of all, by giving our customers a much more integrated digital journey to getting access to NX. Through our digital exchange, but also through providing online trial experiences, but then also taking advantage of cloud as a service to include, for example, data management, team collaboration, and basically certain system functions, and serve them up as integrated cloud services. The other thing I wanted to highlight is what we continue to do with our simulation product portfolio in cloud. So obviously, when you talk simulation, cloud is very interesting because of HPC, so high performance compute. And so we continuously expand our offering here when it comes to delivering SimCenter with HPC capabilities, but then also delivering it with a SaaS experience. And we actually do this with another good technology partner, Rescale, who together with AWS actually delivers the HPC framework as part of this. So as part of this, we've expanded our offering. Includes Star CCM, all of the the SimCenter domains, simulation domains, and I think a good example of how we continuously expand here at a cloud offering that we have to offer. So a good example of a customer taking advantage of this is American Axle. So American Axle has an interesting problem, and the problem is that they deliver as a tier one many drivetrain configurations. And as part of this, they obviously have to figure out how they actually deal with basically oil and how it actually behaves as an integral part to a drivetrain. And so in this case, they're taking advantage of Siemens and our technology partner Rescale to actually be able to do the complex multi-phased CFD simulations that they want to pursue. Good example. Last thing I wanted to talk about is what we do with security. So, like I said, we've made a lot of progress in terms of product availability, but it also means that we have to step up our game when it comes to delivering this in a secure manner. And so a lot of effort has gone into this. So it really is I'd say a multi-phase rocket here, because we work actually with our infrastructure partners. We work with basically auditors to deal with the certifications that are expected, but also obviously with our internal teams to make sure that we actually harden the cloud solutions that we have. So again, I think in terms of delivery, lots of functionality, but also obviously making sure that we deal with the security that is expected from us. So with that, I'd like to actually invite Derek Roos to the stage. He's going to give you an update on what we do around our application platform.
Thank you, Ray. Good morning. I was on this stage exactly a year ago, and that was just a few days after we officially closed the acquisition of Mendix by Siemens. So we're now 1 year in. So I want to give you an update on how we're doing and the progress we've made over the past 12 months. But before I do that, let me just bring you back to why we started Mendix in the first place and the problem we solve for our customers. And it all comes down to this challenge, the digitalization challenge, we call it, which is all about how we need to change all these things as part of our digital journey. You know, the business wants all these apps, they want all these new ideas brought to market, and IT cannot deliver fast enough. They either don't have the skills, they don't have the resources, and even if they do, you know, they're probably busy maintaining their existing landscapes. And this is the reality of almost any company on the planet. Now, how do you solve this problem? Do you add more resources? Do you add more people? Do you code faster? The answer is no. And in fact, the problem is getting worse. It's compounding as we add more technologies and as the experiences that we have as a user and the experiences that we're getting used to in our personal lives when we consume data and consume technology is changing the application stack. It used to be pretty simple, pretty straightforward to build a web application. But if you think about the experiences today, you need a vastly different and much more complex set of technologies to deliver the experiences that we need. So if you think about what that requires from a company in terms of the people and the skills, it's just making that whole problem worse by the day. Not only do you need to know about web, you need to know about different form factors. You need to know about mobile. You need to know about offline. You need to know about cloud. You need to know about streaming data, IoT. So where do you start? How do you bring this together in a way that drives that speed and flexibility that we all need? So this is where we came up, or why we came up with the idea of Mendix, which is at the core a pretty simple idea. It was all about how can we simplify and accelerate this process of taking new ideas to market in ways that we couldn't do before. And the core of that is what we call low-code development. So in essence, it's abstracting away from the underlying code and making it easier for people to build solutions and do it faster. We've proven that we can build 10x faster with 70% less resources. But it's not just about speed, it's also about putting the tools and the power in the hands of the people on the business side. The people that are actually owning the process, that are the domain experts, that know best what problems they need to solve. And empowering them to participate in the creative process and in the application delivery process. And as I said, we're not just talking about yesterday's apps that are web-based, we're talking about many different types of channels and experiences that we expect when we consume data and we consume technology. And all of that from the same model, the same application. I don't want to build a new app only because I need a mobile app. And this is probably true for any organization out there, not just the large ones, but also the startups out there. There's no application that lives in a vacuum. Any app needs to integrate to some degree with external data, external systems. So that's part of kind of the approach and the offering that is Mendix. And then especially together with Siemens, taking this capability to enable the digital twin, taking the data, taking the closed loop, and expose that to new audiences, new use cases, new processes throughout the enterprise and the value chain. So what that means is that we're taking Mendix and we're positioning this on top of your existing landscape. Right? So we can take any system, not just Siemens systems, but any system that we find in our customers' landscapes, and add Mendix as a layer on top, and create and enable the speed and agility that we need by abstracting away from the underlying complexity. So what that means is that Siemens is committed to opening up the entire Siemens portfolio through open and standardized APIs that can be consumed through the Mendix platform. So that's a starting point. And because of Mendix, we can do the same thing for any other system out there and bring that together in these new experiences, new federated applications that consume all that data. And again, drive that speed, agility, and ease of use. So today, I am very proud and excited to share a glimpse of what we see as the platform for the future. Since our acquisition a year ago, we've been working a lot with the various teams and the product segments within Siemens to deliver on a bold vision, bringing the power of Siemens and the power of Mendix together in an integrated offering. And our goal was to create a new and expanded platform offering that is able to, or that will be the industry's most open and extensible cloud application platform through a single, integrated, and frictionless experience. So there's a lot on this slide here. So I'm going to take you through each step and explain to you why this is important. And it all starts at the bottom with what we call our platform services. And this is the foundation of Mendix. It sits on top of any cloud. We talk about our cloud, multi-cloud strategy. We have over 200,000 Mendix apps running on that infrastructure today. So it's a proven and highly scalable service, and it can support any cloud. You can run on AWS or your own cloud, your private cloud, or you can deploy on edge devices or even on-prem. So it's set up from that perspective. And as part of that foundation, we have what we call data and integration services. And this is where we hook into your existing landscape, but also into any of the existing Siemens portfolio, products in the portfolio. And then we have app services. And this is really where the domain expertise and the know-how of Siemens comes into play. Because what we've done is we've worked with all the different product segments and have developed these cloud-native app services, put them on the platform, and offer them through open APIs, through Mendix, or any other channel as part of this integrated offering. So an example of that would be, of course, Mindsphere. Mindsphere, the IoT offering, we've taken the IoT services and made them available as part of this integrated offering. Another example would be 3D visualization, which is used in many different use cases, or lifecycle collaboration services by the Teamcenter teams. And the list goes on, and this is a growing library as we go. So this makes it a very open approach, and it taps into the IP and the know-how that Siemens provides in a new and kind of seamlessly integrated offering available for our ecosystem, which is where that next layer comes in, the developer experience. What we do is we provide a single, unified, and opinionated experience for developers to consume all of this data, all of this IP, all of this technology through a simple and seamless experience to build the applications that are required. Whether those are SaaS applications that are built by Siemens and taken to market, or whether these are customer applications that are custom or partner applications, it doesn't matter. It's really about being open, being an ecosystem platform, and really enabling the world to build whatever they need to do to digitize their business. And as Tony mentioned, we have over 90,000, actually the latest count is over 100,000 developers on the platform today, hundreds of partners. We have a marketplace with over 700 add-ons built by our community, and it's fully self-service and frictionless in the truest sense from that standpoint. So we build on a long kind of decade of history of experiences and apps, like I said, 200,000 that have been built on the platform. Combine it with the Siemens know-how, the Siemens domain expertise, and offer what we believe is the best and most comprehensive platform for the industry. So, but instead of just talking about it, I figured let's show it to you. So I want to invite to stage my colleague Nick Ford. And we're going to show you an application that you saw flashed by in Tony's presentation, which is the plant inspection and maintenance application. So this is an application that's a good example of what's possible in the platform. It integrates with multiple data sources, IBM Maximo, SAP, Teamcenter, and others. So let's see what that looks like. Nick.
Okay, thank you, Derek. What I'd like to do is just walk you through the application itself. This is a multi-experience app. It's actually a plant maintenance application developed in the Mendix platform. What you can see at the moment is, what's interesting about this application is it's connected. It's connected to multiple disparate data sources. That could be from Mindsphere, Teamcenter, Maximo, and various other products. We'll talk a little bit about how that comes together in a second. The dashboard gives me real-time data that's coming in from IoT sensors deployed onto physical equipment. So first of all, we've got a dashboard. As a plant manager, I can actually take a look at that dashboard and use it to make educated decisions. If I drill into a specific asset, for example, in this case, we're going to drill into our SMT oven. We've deployed onto Mindsphere an asset, a bill of materials, a digital twin, as it were, of the oven itself and all the underlying individual components or subcomponents of that particular oven. And what you'll see is data is coming streaming in from edge devices that are deployed against this particular physical asset. We can see those within the platform itself. So we have the temperature, we can look at the airflow, this particular oven, we can look at the belt speed. All that data is coming in simultaneously from the digital twin deployed on top of the Mindsphere platform. What's also interesting is we can pull together data which helps us to make educated decisions from other parts of the Siemens portfolio and also from other products. So, for example, we can take a look at the bill of materials, we could look at the physical CAD drawing or CAD example of that particular oven, drill into that oven, and take a look at the individual components of that. From there, we maybe want to look at the service history. So take a look at the history of the actual oven itself and how it's been maintained over time from the IBM Maximo products. So one of the things that's interesting about this particular application is that because it's deployed on Mindsphere, Mindsphere is looking at the data that's streaming in from those edge devices, and it's making decisions based on a profile. So we've registered a profile against that particular oven, and when the temperature of that oven spikes in particular places, it will automatically send an alert to my application. So what will happen is as new data comes in from the device, we'll see that the temperature spikes. I get an alert into my application to tell me as a plant manager that something's actually not working well. And I need to drill into that particular alert from the system to see exactly what's happening. So let me click on the alert itself. It will open up the environment. I can see that I have a spike in the data that's come in. That's fallen outside of the optimal operating procedures or profile for this particular airflow pump that's working on the device itself. So I know that something's wrong. What's interesting here is I've got the data, but what do I want to do with that now? How can I mobilize my workforce from there?
Yeah, so Nick, you showed the alert on this page here, but I don't suppose that the engineers and the factory are looking at this dashboard all day long. Is there a way to mobilize?
Well, there is. What we've done within the application itself is not only do we have the data coming into a dashboard that we can see, can make decisions on, but we've also created a team roster. So what I can see as a plant manager, I can see my team, I can see exactly what they're working on, and I can start to use that data to mobilize my workforce. So I can decide that I want to schedule a work item for an individual maintenance engineer to go and take a look at that oven to see exactly what's happening. So let's do that very thing. I can take in the incident, which I can see from the SMT reflow oven. I can hit schedule. Please check the temp on oven. So we can send a message to this. It will automatically pick up the next available engineer, and I can then schedule a work item for them. So let's just open up our mobile device here. So what I've also got is a mobile version of this. So not only is there a dashboard as a plant manager, I've also got a mobile application which you can see running over the right-hand side of the screen. I'll make that full screen in a second. But what you see is when I schedule this particular work item, I hit OK, what you should see pop up on my mobile devices that the engineer now gets an alert to tell them they need to go and take a look at this particular piece of equipment because there's a problem with that. So we're joining the physical world, the digital world via a platform for the plant, but also to mobilize individual engineers to take action based on real-time data and insights from the platform itself. So I can open up, let's just swap into the mobile view of this. So Mendix is a multi-experience platform, not only responsive on the browser, but we can also provide both online, offline, truly native mobile applications, which this is. So I can open up my work item. I'm now working on the mobile itself. What it's done is it's driven the data directly to me. So not only do I have the item, but I have everything that I need as an engineer to go and assess that particular problem against that, in this case, airflow pump on the oven itself. So I have a work item. From the work item, I have a series of work cards. So I can open up a work card. The work card gives me each of the actions that I need to carry out. So I want to record the error code from the console. I might want to take a look at some documentation. So as an engineer, what I have to do is to shut the oven down. In this particular case, I can open up a PDF document within the mobile app itself, so I can get all the procedures, the manuals, the documentation that's helped me make a decision on how to utilize or to make this change within the oven itself. What I've also got within here is the equipment I'll need, for example. I can complete that particular process. What I also have is the live data coming from the stream, but I can also see the sub-assets. So let me complete that item. It's okay. Go back to here now, and what we'll see are the subparts. So as an engineer, I can see the data from the error data, live data coming in from the app, from Mindsphere, but I can also see the 3D model. In this case, what I've got is a visual, the same 3D model that I saw deployed on the environment, I now can see on the mobile device itself. So this has been picked up from Teamcenter. As an engineer, once that loads onto the device, I'll be able to view the model itself and use that to help me make any adjustments or changes to this particular item. Okay, and then finally, what we'll notice is if we come back in the application and open up our sub-assets, we'll see the airflow pump, which is the original alert within the application. What we'll notice there is from Maximo, we have an out-of-service record against the account for that particular asset. So we now know that the actual air pump itself in this case is actually out of service. So what we typically need to do now as an engineer is go back to our central warehouse, check the product, see if we have one of those available for us to actually start to deploy.
Hold on, Nick. We're not going back to the central warehouse, I believe, to just check a part. Is there a way we can connect the data in our existing system and just provide it to the engineer, just to speed up his process?
Well, there is, absolutely. I mean, Tony talked about it a little bit earlier in the presentation. We've talked about it all morning. How do we consume data? How can we quickly build applications that allow us to leverage the data and services across our organization without having to write a single line of code? So let me show you how we would do that. I'm going to open up a browser. I've got Google up here, which I had before. I'm going to pop into what we call Data Hub. So Data Hub is a discoverable landscape. What I can see across my organization, all the services and data points that are available to me as a developer or a domain expert to start to leverage within my application. You'll notice the ones that I have here, if I just drag these around, these are the ones that are connected to the existing app. So I've already demonstrated these to you. We've seen Maximo, we've seen Teamcenter, we've seen how we've drawn data in from Mindsphere in real time, how we've made decisions based on that data. What I can also see is I've got SAP and Ops Center available to me as a service, but they're not connected to my application in this particular case. So this is a service that I can use. So if I click on SAP, for example, what it will do is expose the various different services available from SAP. And I notice that I've got a product service available, which is exactly what I'm looking for. What I want to do is I want to search for the airflow pump that I need to replace within this particular maintenance example. So let me do that. Let me open up the Mendix Studio Pro. This is actually the low-code development tool within Mendix. We have a low-code and a no-code environment. I'm using the low-code. The first thing I'll see is a visual representation of the page that I want to change. So this is the asset page within the application. What I want to do is I want to add some data to that. So first of all, I need to connect to the service. Let's go into the domain model. This is a data model. It's a visual representation of how we create data within Mendix. I'll go to my connector where I can discover all of the services that are available across my landscape. You'll notice that I've already got the product searched for in the right-hand corner of the screen, and I can drag that product onto my domain model. What Mendix will do is it will actually attach to that service. It will actually provide me with the data from that external SAP system. So I've now connected to an external system of SAP, I have the data that I need. I can just start to build applications on top of that and treat it as if it was data within my existing environment.
Nick, let me just make sure we understand this point. You're providing a view into the entire application landscape, the entire data landscape in your organization. We're building an application, but by just using the connector in Mendix Studio, you can look inside SAP, see what data is available. You don't want to create a new entity. You want to just leverage what's out there already, drag it on the screen, and the integration is done.
Absolutely.
So it's integration without the act of actually integrating anything, without the pain that's associated with complex enterprise.
Completely abstracted for me as a developer. All I need to do now is treat that as if it was local data. So I can start to drag and drop that on the screen, which is exactly what we'll do next. So let's go back to the page that we talked about. I'm going to take a look at the wireframe view of this page. It's just simpler for me to work with. So I'll swap from the visual view to the wireframe view. And what I want to do is I want to add to the bottom of this page a new tab control. So I'm just going to right click on here, enter a new tab control. Let's call this SAP lookup. So this will actually look up the SAP data. I have a series of components that I can just use, reusable components within my toolbox. I know there's one in there which I'm going to use, which is called list, which will just give me a literal list of items. So I drop that onto the screen. Now I can connect that up to my newly exposed SAP data. So I simply just double click on there. I can connect up the data. And then the final thing I need to do is just decide which attributes I want from SAP. I'd like to use the name of the product and probably the quantity to see how many I've got in stock. So let's do exactly that. Go back to our connector. Let's open it up. I'm going to connect this attribute to the name and this attribute to the quantity. Okay, final thing. If I've got it in stock, I may as well allocate it to me and have it delivered to me. So I've got a button on the bottom of the screen here, which if I click the button, what I'll do is I'll set up an on-click action. So it simply allows me to attach a button to some logic. And the logic we'll use as a microflow. So when we talk about building applications, complex applications without writing code, this is exactly what we mean. I'm going to hook up this button to a microflow. In fact, just let me uncover that microflow for 1 second, which is just here. Let me include in my project, go back to my button, and we'll just hook up the microflow. So on edit action, we'll call a microflow, which is logic. This is the logic we want to call, which actually comes as part of the service connector kit. With Mendix, I can select that, show the microflow. What does logic look like in Mendix? It looks like this. It's a series of flows with a start point, an end point, a number of actions that happen in between them. This is a simple action that comes out of the box, which allows me to update a remote entity to tell the system that I want to allocate some stock to me from SAP in this case. Okay, so the demo is complete. All I need to do now is run the application. So what Mendix is doing now is it's taking the changes that I've made in real time. It's building me a new solution. It's going to deploy that solution for me. And once it's provisioned and deployed, I can then start to use my application with the changes I've made live on my mobile device. So as soon as this build, it'll take a few seconds. Part of the build process will also connect up that remote service that we saw from our discoverable landscape to my model. So I'll be able to see the model change and start to use that data seamlessly within my application. It will build the product and package locally, which it's done. It's just deploying that now. We'll see my mobile. We'll restart in a second. Once the application is running, we'll be able to open it up and view the device. So this allows us to build solutions very, very rapidly. I mean, I'm not a coder. I've been working with Mendix for some years, but I'm not a coder in that respect, so I'm able to build these solutions fairly quickly. Just bear with me a second while it starts to redeploys the app. It's just finishing off the deployment at the bottom here. You'll see one thing it will do is synchronize the database for me. What I'm actually doing is I'm going to actually take data from a remote system, so I need to synchronize that database model. We'll hit the sync button. That's actually now connecting that remote entity into my application and binding it to my application, so that now I'm able to start to use that data. So we now have a new view, and what I should be able to do, just bear with me a second, is I will be able to just open up my mobile device and show.
Just to make sure we understand what happens. We're not replicating the SAP data into our application. We're just building a connection between our data model and the SAP data model. So we're keeping everything clean and keeping the data where it belongs.
Okay, need to scan my app. 1 second. Open that up. Just rescan the application to open it on my local device, and then I'll show you the application itself. So open it up here. Here's the newly deployed app. I go back into my work item. I go to my parts, have a look at my sub-assets, and what I'll see under Airflow Pump now is I have a new SAP lookup. I click on SAP lookup. I now have connected my application directly into SAP. I can see all the parts that I have available within my SAP environment, and I can decide that I want to order a new pump in this particular case. Let's hit the deliver button. Deliver button goes away, tells me that I've ordered the part, decrements the total, so I can see I have 4 pumps left in stock, and 1 will be delivered directly to me. So there's an example of how we've taken a connected environment that's running multi-experience across responsive web design. It's running on my mobile device. It's connected to physical and digital worlds, the digital twin deployed on Mindsphere. It's combining the bill of materials and the CAD drawings from Teamcenter, service data to provide me as a plant manager with all the information that I need to make educated decisions about how I can keep my plant running at its optimal form.
So Nick, how long did it take you to build this demo?
So this demo took 10 days, of which 5 days were build, and there was a 5-day session where we went sort of backwards and forwards with the key stakeholders, many of which were from Siemens, looking at...
10 days from one person?
One person, yes.
You must be a really fast coder, Nick.
No, not at all. I mean, my background is not coding, so I've been working with Mendix as a platform for some time, but I'm not an experienced coder.
You can write code, is what you're saying?
No.
Well, I hope this tells a story, thank you, Nick, of what we mean when we talk about bringing speed and agility to these types of complex environments, how we're focused on reducing the complexity that our customers are facing and try to create these new experiences, again, without complicating the landscape even further. So to wrap up, I think there's one more slide to summarize where we are, because this is the demo. Let me show you some numbers. As Tony said, we're, as a cloud, a Siemens Cloud, we're doing really well. We're growing significantly, 40% plus. We have over 1,000 customers on the cloud, already over 100,000 developers building apps, over 1 million devices connected through Mindsphere, and we're just getting started. So I'm super excited. As I think the gentleman from Polar said, Siemens is good at integration. I can tell you from first-hand experience that that's absolutely true. Mendix is continuing to do really well as a unit, and the opportunity with Siemens customers, Siemens partners is just incredible and even bigger than what we were hoping for when we decided to join the Siemens family. So I want to thank you for your attention. I hope you liked the demo. I hope you liked the music as well. And I want to invite the next speaker, Cherie Wong from AWS, to come up. Thank you all.